Holyhead is the largest port in North Wales. I am in touch with British Rail and the Ministry of Transport about Holyhead. British Rail is making a survey in depth on the future of the port and of the further pattern of trade there. The outcome will be an expansion of the port and an increase in trade over the next few years. Well, these words were said by the Secretary of State for Wales, Mr. Clerc Cyngor Caergybi, in the Welsh debate in the House of Commons this week. But in actual fact, Holyhead is doing pretty well at the moment. Redundancy and redeployment are words that are unknown in the town. Only about 180 men out of a population of nearly 11,000 are unemployed in a town that has 2 large and 4 small factories. And another 10,000 square foot advanced factory is being built in the town at the moment. Labour-wise, at least, Holyhead seems to be the town that is missing the squeeze. But things have not always been so rosy in the town. These slum houses now being demolished by the council are the legacy of an era not so very long ago, when Holyhead was a black spot of poverty and unemployment. Today, the largest employer is British Rail, and whilst in the main the factories absorb the surplus female labour, the men mostly work either on the railway or on the shipping side of British Rail. But the council has thought that the town's prosperity has mainly been tied up with a port, and the minister's statement has borne out their policy. Mr. David Lloyd Hughes, you are the clerk to Holyhead Council. How do you think your council will react to the minister's statement about their town?
Well, I haven't the slightest doubt but that my council will be immensely encouraged by this. There has, of course, been reorganisation in the railway, which has meant a certain number of redundancies, and this worries us, because we look upon the railway as the backbone of the economy of this town. But I'm sure now they know that British Railways are looking to the future, meaning to develop Holyhead in a bigger way. We are bound to be very happy about it.
Well, in what further way do you think the port could be expanded?
Well, the port of Holyhead, of course, is the inner harbour, which is almost entirely used by British Railways, and this wonderful outer harbour here. Now, as far as the inner harbour is concerned, if British Railways are going to develop, as we now hear they are, in a big way, they will still need to use that inner harbour. But the possibilities of this outer harbour are immense, of course, a variety of possibilities. It's a wonderful asset for Holyhead.
Now, there was a lot of talk at one time that Holyhead could become a major oil terminal. What do you think will happen to this project now in light of the minister's statement?
As far as the practicability of using Holyhead Harbour for oil purposes, that is still possible, of course. 2 companies were vitally interested in Holyhead Harbour. They made a very, very careful survey, and they found that it was a practicable proposition to use Holyhead Harbour for large tankers. That is still a possibility. It can be done. But it's only fair to say that those companies are not now taking an active interest in developing in Holyhead. That's the position.
The railway has played a major part in developing Holyhead as the major port of North Wales. Do you see any room for any other industry other than railways?
Well, again, as I say, we look to the railway, and we now look to them to develop and to use what I have called the inner harbour. This outer harbour, as I've also said, the possibilities are immense. We've had a Swedish paper company here thinking of bringing in the pulp by sea. Fishing is a very, very practicable possibility here. It could become a major fishing port, and an interest is being taken in that possibility now. Anything, you see, which means bringing raw materials in by sea and processing it on land, Holyhead Harbour is a tremendous asset for anything of that kind, or, of course, for taking out the finished product by sea.